don't stop. Show. The funny don't stop. The funny don't stop. The funny don't stop. Show. The funny don't stop. Hey.
My name is Halo Thomas, and you're listening Funny Don't Stop Show.
Hey, what's up,
Yeah.
Hey.
everybody doing this Tuesday?
Happy Tuesday.
Hey, what does LeBron say every week, Savvy?
Huh?
What does LeBron say every Tuesday?
Taco Tuesday. And we have yet to have tacos. We've been saying that for the past 365 Tuesdays, and we have yet to have tacos on Tuesday.
I know, man. How's everybody doing, though? Everybody doing good?
Oh, yeah.
We good.
What's up, world? Appreciate you guys tapping in and checking us out on the Funny Don't Stop Show. My name is Alex Thomas, and I am the host of the
Funny Don't Stop
Show.
Yes. We do this every single Tuesday, and I got an amazing cast of people that I do this show with every week. My co-host. Let's start with the man that's got the answers to everything. We call him Fact Man, but his mama calls him Said Brass.
No
Big
doubt.
round of applause, Said Brass.
Yes, no doubt. Quick shout out to today. It's the birthday of Malcolm X. So by any means necessary.
Yes.
So I
Absolutely.
just want to quickly acknowledge that. It's kind of sad that we don't acknowledge that as a nation, and we don't really acknowledge it as a Black community. But as individuals, we have to kind of choose to uplift our heroes and our history.
Absolutely.
So I want to acknowledge today being Malcolm X's birthday.
So in honor of Malcolm X, I'd like to hear a Malcolm X quote from you, Sid. Let me get one of his famous.
I just dropped one. By any means necessary. That's always gonna be my top one of all. I think we use that now.
You too, Alex.
Well, I don't have a quote for him. I just knew his name was it Dirty Red or something before, or something Red before.
Dirty Red.
What was his name in the streets when he was
it's Red. Mm-hmm.
That's Red.
Before he found Allah, and when he was a hustler in the streets, something Red. Yeah, but I watched the movie 110,000 times. I'm gonna be honest with you, only because you brought it up. Denzel Washington should have won an Oscar for his rendition of Malcolm X. I don't care what anybody says.
He should have.
That was an amazing movie.
Did he win?
Huh?
Did he win 2 or 3 Oscars?
Denzel wore.
It wasn't for that movie though.
No, he got one for Training Day.
Yeah.
I guess he got a supporting actor in Philadelphia, which was an amazing movie.
Yeah, that was an outstanding film. Yeah,
with him and Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
He should have got one for Glory, but that didn't happen.
Nah.
I mean, we could go on and on. I mean, I can name 10 movies that man should have got an Oscar for, but that's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
Let me finish.
Did he get one for American Gangster?
No, and he should have there also.
That was another really good one that he should have got one for.
Man, come on, dude. We could talk for 2 hours about all the movies. Remember the Titans, he should have got one. I mean, we could keep going.
It just is weird. It's a weird thing. It's like you say, and then look at Leonardo DiCaprio. He never got an Oscar for any of those films. And then one got one for, you're like, The Revenant. You're like, that.
Yeah. It is kind of crazy.
I wouldn't expect one to come from The Revenant. Maybe the Titanic or What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
What made The Revenant so dope is that he did so much acting with his eyes. It wasn't about the dialogue.
Absolutely.
It was just the things that he did with his face for you to feel like
pain
going through. That's what it was. Like that acting isn't easy as it is, but what he did in that role with limited amount of dialogue was incredible. Was dope.
Did you guys see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes.
Yes. Loved it.
I haven't seen that.
I thought
it was hilarious. Did you like it, Alex?
I did. I actually loved it.
I loved it.
I loved it.
Did you see Wolf of Wall Street? I literally.
Of course.
I could not believe
I haven't seen that either.
Oh my God, you guys got to see The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, come on. Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah. Raul, you saw Wolf of Wall Street, right?
20 times, bro. That's a classic, right?
Is it a must see? Is it must see?
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah. Leonardo's dope in that. Good movie.
Yeah. Hey, let me finish introducing everybody. That man right there, that black man with Billy D. Williams in his back, That's Doc Clark in the building, producer / extraordinaire Doc Clark. What up, Doc?
Billy D. Williams.
Yeah, that's actually not Billy D. Well, that's Lando Calrissian. Just don't
Lando.
Before there was Obama, there was Lando. Lando ran Cloud City in Empire Strikes Back.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite characters of the Star Wars series, and I never thought that he got as much props in the then as he like now. It's gotten better since they did Han Solo.
Yeah,
Han Solo, and they let you know the origin of like how he hooked up with Han Solo and all that. But Lando Calrissian, I thought he was dope.
Well,
here's the crazy. Go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
No. Finish what you're gonna say.
I was gonna say, here's the crazy part, right? We know that Lando from the 70s was like cool player, like black, charismatic kind of characteristic, right? But in the new characters, they make Lando not a player now. They make Lando like where he like men, like women, like he's now ambiguous lover, like he loves all people. I don't know if you peeped that in the new Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, that's because the times have changed, and not to burst your bubble or anything, Doc, but he will always be pimping ass Billy D. Williams to me. I'm sorry.
For sure.
I mean, every black man in the 70s wanted a perm like his. My mama told my daddy in my daddy's face, if that nigga Billy D. Williams comes to the house, I'm leaving with him.
Damn. Damn.
My mother was like, look, niggas, there is some macaroni and cheese and some foil in the refrigerator. Mama's going to dinner with Billy D.
Billy D was the original MJ too. I think most of the corruption in the black community of people drinking Schlitz malt liquor came from Billy D. Williams being in a commercial.
And you got to think about it. That was the immediate competition to Old English.
Yeah.
Which already held down the black community with the malt liquor. So for him to go Schlitz malt liquor, bull, don't let the smooth taste fool you. Oh, that was, you know what I mean? That was immediate competition. Like, who you gonna let get you drunk tonight? That Schlitz malt liquor beer or that old English? You understand me? Hey, but let me finish introducing everybody. That man, hi, Betsy. How are you?
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful ass, blinging Betsy Cox in the building. Give it up. How are you, Betsy?
Oh my God. I'm good. I grew up to my stepdad drinking Schlitz.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we're real white trash.
Was that Donald?
Was that Donald?
That was Bruce.
Bruce, let me tell you something. And this might be telling my age, but I remember taking a sip of that with one of my uncles. And when I tell you, is anybody here ever sipped or tasted Schlitz malt liquor, bull, or Old English?
Pulling it from Bruce, yeah.
Old English, yes.
Dude, that is like liquid crack. It is some of the strongest, nastiest shit ever.
Strongest
Old
and
English
nastiest.
and St. Ives, and you gotta tip it. Your memories.
Anything with malt liquor in it is just instant DUI. Like you could take a shot and you're over the limit.
Right. What about Mad Dog 2020?
Hey,
what you know about that, Betsy?
Mad Dog.
Betsy's showing her real hood credit right now.
Betsy,
She's putting the receipts. She bringing out the receipts on her black card right now.
You know what that tells me, you guys? Betsy, I hate to bust your bubble. You hung out with Donald's kids also, didn't you? His other family. For you to know about Mad Dog 2020, you done been in a few Lolos before, Betsy.
Yeah. Mad Dog.
Didn't y'all grow up drinking Mad Dog 2022?
Yes.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I can't lie. I tried it all at one time in my life.
It feels like some of those beverages, it felt so LA to me. Like it just felt
Thunderbird, Night Train.
Yeah, Cisco. I was like,
y'all missing the biggest one of all. The St. Ives.
She said St. Ives.
St. Ives. You gotta put the to the memories. Yeah.
But I remember like that went outside of LA during the 80s. It just felt like that was only going on in Cali to me.
Yeah, but you know what? Because at that time that's all we knew back then.
Right, of course. Yeah,
but other cities, you look at Betsy, she was in New Orleans and they were still drinking that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And to really get technical with y'all, St. Ides was later on.
Yeah, it was definitely later.
Yeah, St. Ides was like
I was
late
in college.
80s, early 90s competition to Schlitz Liquor Board and Old English. That's when kind of hip hop started getting big, and they went at the Ice Cubes and the Snoop Dogs and all them. That's the chronic type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. And then shit started getting rich and people started drinking Zima.
Oh, I remember Zimas. I used to have them little sexy ass bottles at house parties in the early 90s.
You
remember Zimas, Doc?
Yeah, see, I'm not a drinker, but I remember that. So was it like a cooler?
It was a cooler and it almost looked like lemonade. It was a sexy little bottle. We used to give them to chicks at house parties and apartment parties, and it is kind of sexy, but it was a little strong. So
I totally remember. What was like the first cooler? What was that brand?
It was called Breeze. It was
Bartles and James was the first one.
Bartles and James.
Bartles and James the first one?
Yeah. I do remember that, Sid.
I remember those two, but those were expensive. Those were expensive. But you know, what about Boone's Farm, Strawberry Hill?
Oh, yeah. Love me some Boone's Farms.
Wow, not only did Betsy say Boone's Farm, but she picked the right brand that all the black people bought.
She sure does know her shit.
She said Strawberry Hill, and you got to be a real black connoisseur to know. They got about 30 SKUs of Boone's Farm. But black folks only drunk the Strawberry Hill.
Next Betsy's gonna say she's familiar with Black and Milds.
Right.
Everybody knows Black and Milds, Alex. That's not a black thing.
That's an easy one.
She know how to cut the Black and Mild open and everything, licking and all that.
Some shit just goes hand in hand. You understand me? Hey, we gotta introduce that man with 1,000 voices. The super funny Savvy Music in the building.
Savvy Music.
Ellis the Wall. Ellis the Wall, gentlemen.
How you feel, Savvy?
Feeling pretty good, man. Feeling pretty good today, bro.
What you been up to in these last 6 days?
Oh man, just like I said, man, just trying to stay creative and not go insane.
Yeah.
During this damn quarantine, man. My 4-year-old been driving me fucking crazy. I wake up to a new gray hair every day.
Brother, who you telling? I got gray hair on my nutsack now because of
these damn kids, boy. Man, I fucked up a long time ago, man, when my daughter discovered that I knew how to do voices, man. Now I can't play with the toys in my regular voice. I have to do every fucking Disney character's voice.
See, that's good practice, though. That's good practice for you.
Man, I'm doing Mickey Mouse. Oh, Daddy, that's not Mickey Mouse's voice. That's your voice. I need Mickey Mouse's voice. So now I got to walk around the house. Hot dog. You want to come inside my clubhouse?
Oh,
I'm like, damn, come on, kid, man. I'm so tired of doing voices. God damn it, I just need a break, nigga.
Yeah.
That's why I start writing jokes, Alex. I get sick of that shit sometimes.
Who you telling, brother? Man. We are in the same boat. I gotta introduce the brown dude up there, the man that is the man behind the scenes, but now during this pandemic on Zoom, he's in front of the scenes. And from what I'm hearing, he's becoming a sex symbol on Facebook with all the hyenas.
The hyenas.
Raul, you got the hyenas?
The hyenas. What's up, Raul?
What's up?
Doc, you're laughing because you know what that is.
That's hilarious, dude. The hyenas. That is funny.
I don't know if that's an LA thing. I don't know if that's just us that know that, but
Raul, is that an LA thing or is that worldwide?
Yeah, what is that, Raul? Like for me to know that, I've been knowing about it for years.
Like Latin is like, you know, all the Latinos say hyena. There's more gangster though.
Right.
You know, Mami Chula, right?
Right.
Yeah. Mami Chula is more like LA. You know, Mami's more like LA.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Speaking of that, Raul, how are the hyenas treating you during this pandemic?
Dry.
Dry.
Of course, Alex, man, I've been just golfing every damn day, bro, man. I ain't even gonna lie, man. I just got stuck on golf, man.
Isn't it a beautiful a beautiful, I don't know, what would you call it?
Just peaceful, man.
Oh my God.
It's just peaceful as hell, man. I've been going ever since they opened up the range. I haven't gone to the courses yet, man, but I've been just on the range, man, practicing.
Said I got to get you back out there. You haven't touched the club in a long ass time.
Man, I ain't been out there in a while, man.
I was thinking about maybe Saturday morning going right down the street to Witset. Maybe you guys could join me, man.
Oh yeah, that's a part 3. Anybody could do that one. You don't even
what I'm saying. I'm dead serious. No, I'm not joking. I'm saying right here on our show, maybe Saturday morning, me, you, and Raul, we get out there like maybe 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, man, and just do a little round. And now that they're back open, you know what I mean? We walk, social distancing, have a good time.
And just don't bring
that's probably cool.
Beat all of us, bro, man. She look like she got that swing down.
Betsy, did you ever play golf?
Played golf a few times in the Hooters golf tournament.
Okay.
15 years.
I've been to a lot of tournaments with the Hooters girls on different holes.
Have you?
Oh my God, what? Let me tell you something. I play about
on different holes.
On different holes?
Let me tell you something, Betsy. I play about 10, 15 celebrity tournaments a year. And out of those 10, 15, at least 6 or 7 of them, there's a Hooters hole.
Yeah. Well, did you ever go to the Hooters tournaments like with in Florida?
I never went to the actual complete Hooters tournament. I've just been to tournaments where Hooters is a sponsor. So on that particular hole, you get chicken and titties.
Yeah.
But the fact that you said Hooters and hole in the same sentence.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get some context exactly what type of tournament this is.
Sound a little freaky.
Yeah.
It can said. You see what I'm saying? I'm sorry, not said. You see what I'm saying, Savvy?
Yeah, that sounds a little freaky.
And but I will with a Hooters girl, you're always trying to get it in the hole, aren't you?
Pretty much. And I will tell you this, Doc, because you haven't played golf yet, but when you go to these tournaments, when you have the Hooter girls, and then half the holes are sponsored by different alcohols, it turns into a party. Right. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It turns into a party, and it's a whole lot of fun. Yeah.
But you know what I've always wondered, Betsy, like, is it part of the Hooter girls' job to be flirtatious, or they just do that to do that?
You know, let me just, Savvy, Hooters is a family restaurant.
Right.
But that's how you get your tips, though. That's how you get your tips, right?
You'd be surprised. Like a lot of regular customers, like, yeah, there are a lot of guys and stuff, but you're not really flirting with them because they're regulars. It's more like a friendship thing.
Right.
I will tell you.
Yeah, that's the same thing that Treasure Island and the same thing Onyx is. They said they're a family restaurant as well.
Yeah. We had a lot of
Magic City and the Spearmint Rhino family operations.
A lot of families came into Hooters with their kids.
They do bring the kids in Hooters though.
Yeah. No, of course. Oh, obviously, yeah. But I mean, the girls aren't twerking and they ain't pulling nipples out. You know what I mean?
No. I will tell you the most embarrassing moment of my life. When I first started wearing the uniform, I was trying to pull my boobs up really high in it.
Right.
And the shirt is so low cut. Literally, I walked out on the floor and I'm walking around with the restaurant with my nipple hanging out.
And you got $1 million in tips that day.
I did it. Well, somebody stopped me, but I wish they had stopped me sooner. It's like, oh my God, I was like that.
Crazy.
Why do these guys keep ordering extra breast for me? I don't get it.
It was embarrassing.
Hey.
Hooters is a crazy place. You don't know who you will meet there.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This is so weird. And this could be because I travel a lot. I know you travel a lot too, Doc. Hooters is one of those places I don't ever go in my own city. I only go when I'm out of town. I'm in Atlanta, Cincinnati, Detroit, New York. I don't ever go to Hooters. I don't ever go to it like a Denny's or Applebee's in my own city. Hooters is one of them.
Yeah, we go all the time before the game, man. During season, we lived at Hooters, man.
Like tailgating, right?
No, we just go like maybe 4 of us just to, because I mean it's lit. They got the big.
No. I heard you like it's like a hell of a sports bar.
But the problem is, where is one? Only one I know in LA is the one on Hollywood Boulevard.
Well, they
That's the
closed
only
a
one I
lot
know.
of them down.
That's the only one I know.
You're right, Betsy. They shut down a lot because
Yeah.
we used to go to one right across the street from the Staples Center, but they moved it.
Oh, that's right. Over there where Shaq's restaurant is now.
Right. They tore it down, man.
The one in
real
Santa
quick,
Monica, I think they had to tear it down. It was like rat infested so bad.
Oh,
And
damn.
Oh, yeah,
we
there was
were
a lot of
waiting
people
on it.
that to work there, so I'm sure they had to shut down.
No.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Pity.
Working when I got my job at the doctor's office.
That's crazy. Hey, you guys, I want to just personally thank all of you guys on behalf of my 5-year-old daughter, Halo Alexandria Thomas. She wants to thank you guys for doing your shout outs because she loved it. And we had an amazing little backyard quarantine party. And she was just super excited. What am I talking about? Raul, I know you got pictures from the little backyard party.
I do.
We had a good time, man. You know, my daughter usually has nice little parties, but we just had to do everything in the backyard. But she enjoyed herself so much.
Oh my God, that's so cute. I love the shirts y'all made.
Oh my, you know my wife does all that stuff. And look
She's
at little
so
legend.
good at that stuff.
She really is. Her and her mom are the best little party planners.
If they did this for a living, oh my God.
You would think so. I know. That's what I tell them all the time. I'm like, dude, if you guys did this for a living, oh my God.
Look how good your wife is. Literally looks like the best pregnant woman I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you. Thank you. We just went yesterday. We got the 7-month 4D picture. I wanted to show you. I was going to give it to Raul, but she's officially 7 months pregnant now. So
7
months.
She looks so good.
We got a couple more to go, big dog.
I know, man. We're a little nervous right now because we're hoping that this pandemic is over because the baby's due in August.
Yeah.
But like they're saying, like if the baby comes in August and the pandemic is still going on, they're saying that I might not even be able to go into the emergency room. I'm like, oh no. Fuck that. If I have to disguise myself as a doctor, I am not gonna not be in the room when my third child is delivered. I've been there for every single one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had a friend who had a baby a week ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was talking about how difficult it was the process.
Yeah.
And his wife having a baby. And so what they did was say that he had an option to be in there or not be in the emergency room, but they make you quarantine for 7 days. They mandatory make the woman quarantine for 7 days. But if the man wants to or the dad wants to be in the room, he has to quarantine as well. So it's
and that's the tough part, Sid, because I just noticed
you still got to take care of your other kids and everything and still work. So it's
exactly.
So I meant to ask you about that because it's
going to be tough. Well, we're praying that this is over because you got to think about it. Not only am I always doing a lot of things leading up to that day, like we've done for the last 2 kids, that's not going to stop. That's like stuff that I have to do that she can't do. Right. But thank God we have a great mother-in-law and she's going to help us out also. But still, man, it's like, dude, I'm just hoping this is over by that time so it could be a smooth pregnancy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do too, man.
Hey, guys, can we please recap the amazing Last Dance series that is now over? That was TV history, that I was glued in front of my TV like it was the greatest TV show ever. Savvy, I'm going to start with you, bro. Was that not an amazing series?
Yeah, man. It was.
What was your feeling on it, man?
It was an outstanding series, man. And it got to show me a side of Michael Jordan that I never knew, about the way he carried himself in the game and the way he treated his teammates to try to get them to be better. A lot of the times, it's just like that tough father, man. You come off as an asshole or a jerk, but you just trying to teach your kids how to be the best men.
Absolutely.
It can be, man. And,
absolutely.
What that brother endured, what he did for the game of basketball. I just, by me being a Laker fan, man, I used to always tilt my hat and give it to Kobe Bryant, being a little bit biased at the same time. But recapping this and bringing me back to the 90s, when I was a kid, man, I just said, man, after watching this, there's no doubt in my mind in my opinion, that Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time.
And now that you brought that up, it makes me look at things a little different because you're a generation after me, right? So your generation really was Kobe Bryant. And I was going to ask you that, but you kind of just beat me to it. So now your generation that didn't know all that stuff, now you guys see this is who that man embodied.
Right.
This is where Kobe got his everything from his fist pump to his jump shot to his tongue out. Like literally, to me, I've always told people Kobe Bryant pulled off the greatest impression ever.
Absolutely, man. And Kobe said himself, man, and when you hear, I mean, a lot of times the people are just being humble, but listening to Kobe speak, you can see he genuinely meant this.
Yeah.
He said, you know, you don't get 5 championships without Michael Jordan because he taught me so much. I learned so much from that man. The city of LA would not have 5 championships
if it wasn't for that man.
Knew from Michael Jordan.
Absolutely. And you know, another thing that is it just me or am I the only person that's like, dude, I could watch 10 more.
Oh yeah. You be waiting for the next one to come on, man, you know? And it also goes to show you too, Alex, what pride will do for an organization, man. Like you'll have like your general managers and your owners, and they'll literally sit back like, hey man, I don't give a damn how many games you win. You know, you ain't gonna come back, man. And then they end up, you know, busting the team up, man. And it was just an outstanding documentary, man. And I'm really glad that Michael Jordan filmed that and left us those gems while he was still alive. Living legend, man.
Right. And you know, another thing I learned a lot. And as a hard-nosed, dedicated person to my craft, I loved seeing how Michael Jordan pulled certain things to fuel his fire to win.
Right.
So, you know, like he took things like, here's a simple one. How Karl Malone won the MVP in 1998. And Michael Jordan's like, really? Like, really? Okay. I can't do nothing about that. But what I can do about that is smash this fool in his championship and show you who the real MVP is.
Oh, he did it, man. He did it every single time, man. He did it with Malone. At one point, the NBA was comparing Clyde Drexler to Michael Jordan. And now we know, because I never knew what the famous shrug meant. You know, when they played the Blazers, but Magic said, like, yeah, man. He said when they compared me to Drexler, he said I told Magic that I'm a bust his ass all night. And when he started lighting Drexler up, he looks over at the scores table with Magic and says, they comparing him to me. He ain't looking like me tonight.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. And that was crazy because at that time, because I remember it like it was yesterday, all these guys at a certain time in their careers, remember, that was before Michael Jordan pulled away from the bunch. Right. So if you were an announcer back then, if you were a coach back then, if you were somebody that just loved basketball, there was this like little handful of dudes that were the guys. Right. Those years, Magic, Dominique Wilkins, Larry Bird, you know what I mean? Certain dudes, Drexler was in there, Olajuwon was in there, Patrick Ewing was in there. It took a little while for us to see, okay, those dudes are good, but Michael Jordan is great.
Yeah, he was just exceptional.
Every generation has that. All those Kobe's generation, there was guys that were great players. I'd love to have him on our team.
Right.
But he was at another level. As many times as we hear that word on some you hear people go, oh, but that dude was on some next level shit. It's only very rarely every generation where somebody is truly on some next level shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right, man. And watching that, a lot of people don't like to talk about this, man, but watching that documentary also let me know how good and how great Isaiah Thomas was, because he was the only one that really beat all of these guys, you know? Bird, Magic.
I mean, team-wise, because remember he had a squad.
Yeah, team-wise, he had a really good team, man. But yeah, Michael Jordan, man, he's just, I mean, I can honestly see why he's in the position that he's in now.
Can you imagine if there was social media around back then, guys?
Oh,
Say it. So we know how big LeBron James is on social media. I'm gonna say this, and I want you to jump in. Say it. Like if Michael knew what LeBron knew as far as marketing and selling product, that dude would have been a gazillionaire versus a trillionaire. But then again, the flip side is, if it wasn't for Michael Jordan, these dudes would not be selling their own shoes like the way they are. He was the blueprint for the next generation of when it comes to endorsements.
Right.
Yeah, I would argue the fact if Michael Jordan knew, I don't think Michael Jordan doesn't know what LeBron knows. I just think that the industry allows certain things after certain people have set a trend and set the way. So I would still say that Jordan knows more in the marketing realm, all the way down to what you explained last week with understanding how to cover up the logo and understanding his brand and name and coming up with his own logo. I would argue that Jordan knows more than LeBron.
But it was
LeBron
super
has opportunities.
It was super organic back then. Whereas now,
yeah.
I mean, now you got to think about what LeBron. I always bring this up, and I know you guys have heard me say this before, but I got to say it again. To prove that these dudes are really on some I'm trying to move units is how LeBron James will wear 2 pair of shoes almost every game.
Yeah.
That is the ultimate. Like, my shoe costs $223. If I wear 2 shoes this game, that's me selling 2 pairs of shoes to every household. Because at the end of the day, it's like residuals. It's like selling an album. Hey, back in the day, I remember if your album was, $11.99, you might got $4 off of it. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? Depending on your deal. So you got to think about it. I remember that was the big thing back in the day. I remember we used to talk about, wow, Michael Jordan gets $11 a shoe. Remember, the shoe was $100 since 1984.
Yeah. Right.
But at the end of the day, the same way our artists is trying to sell a song or sell an album, trust me, them dudes is trying to sell shoes too, because that's more money in their pockets. But for the fact that LeBron wears 2 pairs of shoes per game, it's brilliant. Jordan never did that.
Yeah, but I wonder if that's because, and maybe this is because I was really poor. I do not know, but I wonder if that's because back in the day, remember, you bought a pair of shoes and you rocked those shoes that summer.
Right.
Today, people buy 50 pair of shoes and
exactly.
rock them. But back then, people weren't doing that. Production wasn't even set up like that.
You have a great point there. And the thing that moved that forward, Betsy, I'm glad you brought that up, was the whole culture, the hip hop culture.
Yeah, it's the
culture.
Because
remember at one time, like I used to joke with New Era hats, right? At one time, the Dodger hat was blue. The Cincinnati hat was red. The New York hat was that. Hip hop and our culture told New Era, the biggest hat company since the beginning of the time in baseball, you need to do that LA Dodger cap in 39 different colorways.
Right.
Because now, but remember, nothing against white people, but they weren't into matching every single outfit with every single pair of shoes, with every single pair of t-shirts. That's what hip hop.
Wearing white socks with black pants.
Dress shoes, white socks with black dress shoes. No, but what hip hop did, hip hop in this whole sneaker culture, even Nike 35 years in realized, oh my God, you mean to tell me this hip hop thing is so huge, we can re-release the exact same shoe in a different color and get $100 billion more dollars? Exactly.
Yeah,
that's genius.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex,
I think that.
What are you gonna say, Raul?
Meet Jordan back in the days, man.
Say it again.
Didn't you meet Michael Jordan back in the days?
Oh my God! Let me tell you something, man. When I first met Michael Jordan, a small tear came to my eye. And this was the night I met him that year in 1998. And that was at Jill Scott's album release party.
Wow. Because
y'all there, Alex, you were backstage?
Yeah, it was in Santa Monica. Yeah. It was an airport hangar.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was the first Hidden Beach. Remember that, Doc?
Yeah, that was going to say. There's a label.
So that Hidden Beach that Michael Jordan helped invest,
part owner and helped
invested in Hidden Beach with Steve McKeever.
And that's why he was there, right? So he was part owner in it. And I was at the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I had met Jill on the set of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air because she was great friends with DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Right.
And Jazzy Jeff used to always, this is gonna sound crazy, he used to bring like Philly mixtapes of this chick that was like singing on like the Roots and different East Coast rapper songs. She's like, yo, she's actually about to come out with her own shit. She just signed to this thing called, Hidden Beach. She's having a big album release party. Michael Jordan is supposed to be there. This is 1998. And I was like, she's like, he invited me to the party. I went, I go to the party, and I walk into the back room, and Michael Jordan's right there. Will goes, yo, man, you got to meet Mike, right? And I turn around, and Michael Jordan goes, Tata-lalicious. Tata-lalicious, nigga.
Oh, my God.
When I tell you a small tear came out my eye, I was like, how the hell
do you know who I am?
Does this guy know who I am? This is going to be my first time ever meeting him. But it just happened. That song was so huge, and I was in the video every day. And hey, the same way we watch him on TV every day, he was watching MTV and BET every day. So he knew who I was. And ever since then, man, we were always cool with friends. I played in a lot of his golf tournaments and hosted a lot of different events for him. And whenever I would go to Chicago, Antoine Walker, shout out to Antoine Walker, who looked up to Michael, also ended up being best friends with Michael. So he did his big celebrity weekend in Chicago every year, and Mike would be there every single year at every single party. And I would just talk shit. I would just talk shit to him, and he loved it. He would have me come to his booth and he would make me talk shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he embarrassed me once and had me do my whole Def Comedy Jam joke in front of all his friends. And I'm like, nigga, we're in a club. Like, I'm not gonna do the joke. He's making me do the goddamn joke, Alex. I was like, okay, shit. Like, it was a joke that I did about Jordans on Def Comedy Jam like 10 years prior. And he's like, dude, that's one of my favorite jokes. I'm like, like to hear Michael Jordan say, that's one of my favorite jokes. He's talking like I'm a star or something. Like, what do you mean that's one of your favorite jokes? He just like, man, I watched all them Def Comedy Jams. But I guess since it was about him, dudes like that, they like when people talk shit about him.
Yeah, they like it. Yeah.
And it just turns out over the years on Def Comedy Jam, I didn't even realize this till like when I was in my 40s, I had did 2 or 3 separate times, separate jokes about Michael Jordan.
Right.
He was just a part of the culture.
Right.
Even though I'm an LA dude and Magic was my favorite, I respected Michael Jordan and I still wore his shoes.
Right. Facts.
He made the best shoes ever of anyone, still to this day.
Still
to this day.
Still.
Shoes out there.
Yep.
Yes, and
why am I always the Debbie Downer though, man? I was disappointed.
Didn't you say something? Didn't you say something like you grew up in Chicago and you never had a pair of Jordans?
I grew up in Chicago. I never had a pair of Jordans, and I never liked the Bulls, and I wasn't a big Michael Jordan fan. But if you didn't you tell me once? You said something once like you weren't even the sports shoes, like you would wear church shoes to PE class. Didn't you say that? Nah, man. I had sneakers to PE. I said I only wore sneakers when I went to PE. But other than playing basketball and PE, I never wore basketball shoes. I only wore penny loafers, wingtip shoes, or like.
Did you wear white socks?
No. Hard bottom. I had my socks. My socks would match my tie. And
absolutely.
It was like I was.
As you should, Doc. You know what that's all about.
That was back in the day when you had like the custom suspenders, and the suspenders.
Come on, man.
The tie. The same fabric as the handkerchief.
Hey, I have to say, Doc, I have seen some of your, I don't know if it's baby pictures or some of your elementary and junior high pictures, and you look like a junior pimp when you were like 7 years old. Somebody in your family had pimping in them because you
a junior pimp.
Dude, when I tell you this dude was dressed like suits and ties, like at a young age. What was the story about that?
Bow ties, really, really young. My grandfather was a tailor, so he would custom make all of my suits. You know, pick the material. So I had stuff that nobody else had because he would make it for me. So he either make stuff that me and my mom would kind of dress alike, or that color scheme was the same, or make my Easter Sunday suits and stuff like that. So from I can remember 3 years old, I had 3-piece suits and bow ties. So naturally, that's just
Did I see you? Did I see a picture of you? I saw a picture of you when you were 8 years old, and I believe it was a triple-breasted fuchsia suit on you. Triple-breasted fuchsia. I'm like, this nigga is a pimp. I was like, does he have a matching big wheel with this motherfucker?
He's been fly all his life.
I've heard of double-breasted, but I never heard of triple-breasted in this bitch.
Triple-breasted.
Yeah, man. My mother and grandfather used to have me like decked out for real. I was wearing pea coats really young.
Oh yeah.
I was in New York at the time, so it was cold. So I would dress, that was a cool thing about growing up in an area where it was cold, because you could dress in layers.
Exactly.
So I lived in New York till I was 5 and then moved to California.
Oh, okay.
But my first few years was there.
Real quick, and then we can move on. I just want, we kind of got off the subject, but I think because they followed that 97, 98 team the entire year, and now we see whatever this is, 20-something years later, how amazing that content was and how it's turned into beautiful TV. I feel like that's going to now open the floodgates for all teams to do that now, because content is king. And now, if they didn't already do it, I could see teams doing that now, just because, just to have some extra. What do you think, Savvy?
But we already got that. It's kind of like Hard Knocks. My bad, Savvy.
Very true. No, say it.
We got Hard Knocks. We got Hard Knocks Life. We already got like the football kind of version of it.
That's true.
And the NBA has swore not to do a reality-based type of thing. So maybe we'll get a version of this where people can privately record and maybe years later get a release. But for whatever reason, the NBA doesn't want to get into that reality of NBA players are too turned up. They do not want to see behind the veil of what's going on in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's great that you brought up Hard Knocks too, because that's another one of my favorite. I mean, I look forward to football season every year to watch a whole 4 weeks, because it's always 4 weeks out before the season starts. Hard Knocks is just brilliant. It's amazing, and I love it. I just love behind the scenes, man. We watch what we watch on TV, but when you get to see what guys are going through, reasons why things happened and this and that, that's the stuff I'm intrigued with. You know what I mean?
We ought to start doing that for comedy when we get back to it, Alex, like a Hard Knocks version of comedy. Like after you get up the stage, have a camera guy follow you into the green room and all that.
Now there you go.
There you go.
Now there you go. Well, me and Sid, a few years back, we started with the Funny Don't Stop, and he was following me all over. And then me and Raul has done a lot of that also. And now I'm happy you said that. Now that we really have a team here with Betsy, you, myself, Doc, Sid, absolutely, you guys. Content. Before you know it, it's you look at it and you go, wow, we have 5-6 hours of behind the scenes footage from the Funny Don't Stop show, just our lives. Hopefully, I'm glad you brought that up. When this so-called pandemic is over, we definitely got to do that, because just think about on our YouTube page. We do our show every week, but imagine if Raul just chopped together an hour and 30 minutes of just some cool footage of me, you, Betsy, Doc, Sid. We already got the eyeballs of our podcast. Let's give them some content.
Right. Why not?
Yeah.
And then then
people have to buy that.
Yeah, man, you know people in some deep places. So does Doc. And I'm pretty sure everybody else that's on the panel. I mean, once you have a finished project, you sit down and talk to the right people. Who knows? And
absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
You said, content is king, man, and it's never been more important. People realize how important content is during this pandemic because at the end of the day, everybody needs to be entertained. And what comedians do is interesting, and you just want to see what people do outside of the stage, you know?
And now that I think about that, I don't know if it's been done, and I hope nobody's watching this to the point where they go like, we're going to run with it.
Yeah, you never know.
Now I think about it, we could be the first with a damn behind the scenes of a podcast.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We have a team right here, guys.
And everybody's so different. I mean, everybody.
Exactly.
Everybody's life is so different.
I was looking at the little promo I did this morning, you know, and I was like, you know what? We're a good-looking team of people.
Good-looking team of people.
We really are. Like, put some money behind us. Oh my God! But in the meantime, in between time, we're gonna give it to you. You know what I mean?
Man, some funny shit like that time. I don't know where Said was. I think Said had already took off. Betsy had took off. But like that time, that chick, she was high as a fucking kite in front of Dash Radio, and she pulled her titties out and shit.
Oh, like
imagine if we had that crazy shit like that on tape.
Exactly. But guess what, Savvy? That's Raul is brilliant at that kind of stuff, and it's gonna happen again.
Oh man, some of the outtakes of the old ones in the studio, man. We didn't have some heated conversations once the mic go off. Oh man. We had a 2-hour conversation one time.
Splice all that shit up together, like merge it all together.
And if I can remember correctly, that titty was for Raul.
Hilarious.
Did you pick it up?
It was a Heine.
Did you pick up the Heine titty? The Heine titty?
The Heine
I can't lie. On behalf of Raul, it did look like it was going to be some sour milk, though.
Tu quiero my chichis, papi.
Hey, I got to move on real quick. It's something I wanted to talk about. Did y'all see that Grubhub driver that got ran over because of the social distancing? Somebody's got to know this story. I don't know the whole story.
No,
I don't know it.
A Grubhub.
Oh my God, guys!
A guy who he wasn't the guy who ran. This is the woman who owned the restaurant, and her daughter worked there with her.
Okay.
The guy goes to get his food, and she says only one person can come in at a time.
Right.
Please walk out until this person leaves.
Right.
He got an attitude. She went out and she was like, you need to chill out. And they started going back and forth. She got her camera out. He got in his car. He apparently was never even issued a driver's license. Oh. He gets in his car in a heated argument while she has her phone out. He decides to roll her over.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man.
See, I got it backwards, Betsy.
What ethnicity was the guy? Was the driver? What ethnicity was he?
I didn't really see that.
We always do this with ethnicity.
I just asking.
No, but Betsy, you don't have to look it up. You don't have to look.
No, I have a picture of him. What does he look like to y'all?
Oh, goddamn! Oh, looks like Bin Laden's nephew.
Right, exactly.
Laden.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Motherfuckers always got attitudes too. I can see him running a motherfucker.
Wait, show me that again. Show it to me again.
He's 30 years old, and his name is
Jim Laden. Jim Laden. Oh, I thought that was Jim Laden, Bin Laden's nephew, Jim Laden.
Amir Muhammad, is that his name?
It says 30-year-old Amir Mohammed, who is facing a bunch of criminal charges.
Oh shit! Well, he lucky. She lucky just to get ran over. Shit.
Right, exactly.
I thought it come back usually blow your ass up.
Right, no, exactly.
Look who needs to be on. She's
hey,
what's going on?
Why does it look like her eyes are going two separate ways?
She's crazy. She's insane. She's a typical woman with an insane personality. She screams to get my attention.
Your dog looked like he's looking left and right at the same time.
She does. It's with her eyes.
Crazy.
Look at Savvy. Look at Savvy.
Savvy's dying. She died. You know, I was
funny though, man, because I was gonna say the same thing, but I didn't want Betsy to get mad.
She Cross-eyed?
Damn.
No, not cross-eyed. He's opposite. Like he's looking like I'm looking at you and I'm looking at your ass. I'm looking at you and I'm looking at your ass. All right. I got my eyes
Totally
on y'all.
Hey,
Hey.
What, Betsy, what's that dog's name? Biggie?
Her name is Sky.
Hi, Sky.
Oh my God.
Sky across the street. It can look both ways at the same time.
Did you hear her scream at me and start howling?
That's funny.
She's a
See,
baby.
that's it. That's the problematic. There's nothing wrong with the dog. There's something wrong with you. That's the problem. You have a problem with the dog because you're stupid. You don't know the dog. The dog. There's nothing wrong with the dog at all. There's something wrong with you.
That character is so damn funny.
So
I
good.
can't wait to bring Caesar to the stage, big dog. I
Oh,
cannot.
you have to. Hey,
Wait.
so Betsy,
Yeah.
tell us about that other. While we're on the lines of all this craziness that's been happening, what happened with the two McDonald's employees in Oklahoma
got shot.
Coronavirus restrictions?
Yeah. So a girl walks into McDonald's. She's upset that the dining room at McDonald's is closed. She wants to order her food and sit inside of McDonald's and eat, and they tell her leave. It starts the employees like, you have to, like, where the dining room is closed, you can only get food to go.
Right.
It starts an altercation. They kick her out. She comes back in with a gun and just unloads on them. She shot one person in the arm. I think she shot one other person, and then like other people got hit with bullet splatter, or I don't know. And it says in the article, I don't know what.
And this was all over McNuggets?
And maybe some French fries.
I mean, I love me
This
some McNuggets
quarantine
too.
got
But
people tripping.
Yeah,
This
it
quarantine
does,
got
though,
people
Sid.
tripping, man.
It
I see
does.
it every day, man. I'm out all the time.
like, what have
People
you
just
seen,
lack
Sam?
civility.
What is some
People
stuff
lack-
you've
But
seen?
Sad is like, I'm telling you, he's done this before. When this thing first happened, before the McDonald's shooting and the guy runs the lady over, Sad was like, man, I could already see it brewing. Before it even happened, he said, I can sense the tension in people already. And lo and behold, a couple of weeks later, crazy shit started happening, man.
Sad, I got to give it up to you. You saw a lot of things coming, brother. You were on that N95 mask before everybody, and
He was
all that shit.
You know who you are, Said to me. Have you seen the movie Independence Day?
Of course.
yeah.
You're the guy. Damn, what's the guy name, Alex?
The president.
no,
The guy from The Fly.
There
The
you
guy
go.
from The Fly.
Yeah.
Trying to warn everybody. They
I'm
weren't listening to him.
Right.
That's who said.
That's how I feel a lot of times, Savvy. I've been like controlling myself now, controlling information.
Don't control yourself,
because I feel so worn out and exhausted with like trying to tell people like the next thing. Like it's so many things now that I just departmentalize. I write it down. I chill. I meditate. I'm not over aggressive with it. I'm not sending text to everybody every 5 minutes. You know, you got to learn how to be,
Well said.
pace it. You got to learn pacing.
Said, not to burst your bubble, but on behalf of the Funny Don't Stop show, as the quarterback of this team, I need you to unleash the damn dragon. This is a platform. Don't hold it in. You will feel better when you express yourself. And I want you to talk, because guess what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is 6 people here. Everybody's going to have different opinions. And everybody's going to have something to say. I don't want anybody to hold back. No one's going to be, yes, there might be people that are upset and bad, but guess what? One thing I've learned over 25 years in this business, you cannot please everybody.
Right.
Your opinion is your opinion, and I appreciate it, and I value everybody's opinions on this show. Don't hold back. I mean, yeah, I talk a lot, but hey, man, you talk too. If you feel something, let that shit out, dude.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No, I meant more so in my private time. You know what I mean? Of course, on the show, I'm giving my input, but outside, I just try to like chill with the text messages, chill with the massive emails, because it could be information overload for some people. So
speaking of
I was going to say, speaking of which, you was about to say the same thing. Go ahead. I'll let you set it up.
No, yeah, this because I was going to set you up for something else. but it's something that I know you had mentioned this to me, and I want you to run with this. And I know Raul will be able to really speak on this too. And this is the new contacting the tracing situation with Apple iPhones.
Yeah,
explain that. Explain this to the people that have no clue.
So it's two parts to the conversation, right? Just understanding contact tracing. This is my next thing that I'm really trying to warn people about. I'm past the mask now. We're past the coronavirus. I'm trying to let people know contact tracing, be very aware of contact tracing and get all the right information.
Give us the definition of what contact tracing is.
Okay, so contact tracing right here, what Raul pulled up, he's going right into it, which HR bill passed, which then the Trace Act, which is basically testing, reaching, and contacting everyone. In layman's terms, in order to really deal with this coronavirus, they want to make sure that they can track the way everybody's interacting with everyone. So if you come in contact with someone that had coronavirus, you're going to be alerted to the fact of, hey, you came up in contact with somebody that has the virus or have been positively identified with having COVID-19. This on the surface seems like it's going to be a good thing because it's a way to us to really find out how many people contacted the next person. The problem is privacy. Right. We're having a lot of privacy issues with this because now, you know, Alex, you could just be sitting at a home and on your phone, boop, boop. Alex, you got to quarantine for 2 weeks because you came in contact with someone that had the coronavirus that you was unaware of. You might have just walked by them in a grocery store. So, and to back up a little bit, Apple and Microsoft unprecedentedly, for the first time ever, have partnered on this technology to where every smartphone can come and gonna track and log when people's phones come in contact with another person and log that information through an iOS app and through the Android app on everyone's phone. So when we get the update on our phones, in some foreseeable future, we're gonna get an update on our phone. It's gonna have a COVID app that comes with the update, and that COVID app is going to track all of our interactions and all of our intergoings, and every person is going to have an identification code that tracks and comes in contact with anyone. And if anyone comes in contact with somebody that has a positive trigger, that person automatically is going to you're going to get an alert in your phone, like we get those Amber alerts. You're going to get an alert in your phone saying, 2 weeks, you got to stay at home for 2 weeks, and it's going to know if you left the house or not. And so, you know, for me, it's going to be a very scary thing. And it's interesting how you led into this conversation. I think what's really worrisome about this is the fact that, you know, you can randomly be tagged for saying you got the coronavirus. And when you look into that HR 6666 bill, you will see that they also state that it's not if you come in contact with him, but anybody in your household also has to automatically quarantine too. So say, for instance, your Brazy is just at home chilling because she's pregnant. Just because she's in the household, just because your kids are in the household, just because mom's in the household with you guys, they'll automatically get tagged as well, even though they didn't come in contact with the COVID-19 person. They will automatically have to quarantine for 2 weeks.
But wouldn't that make sense? Because that's what they're saying now anyway. They're saying if you have been exposed and anyone you've been around, you've got to let know because you should all quarantine.
Yeah, but it's not. That's the difference is that you got to let them know. This is them telling you that you got to.
Oh.
And the layer on top of that is the National Guard is involved and the Army is involved. So when you get tagged, the National Guard has people that will be getting notified as well. They will come to your house and say, hey, we know you got the alert on your phone. You need to make sure you quarantine. And they can make a determinative decision there to allow you to quarantine at home or have to go to a federal facility and quarantine at a federal facility. If they deem your homing situation isn't stable enough or the right situation, they could say, hey, you need to come with us and you can quarantine for 2 weeks in one of our federal facilities. These are things that's going to be very worrisome and very problematic for mostly African Americans and Black communities. I know I've been preaching this on the show a lot. I think that, you know, Black communities, under developed communities, people that don't have access to good healthcare, people that don't have access to food and good housing circumstances. Oh, off the bat, we already see this implemented in people that's in what do they call it? HUD home, not HUD homes, but basically projects. I'm trying to use the right term.
Right.
Anyone that's on subsidized housing will have to be mandated to do vaccination, and because you're already part of the federal government housing. So they're already in Tennessee and Nashville. National Guards are already going to all of the projects telling people, hey, you got to quarantine. So we're going to see Black people being targeted. We already see in the news, to make us feel better, they've already been projecting through the news that we're the ones that's mostly getting it, and we're the ones that's mostly dying for it. And it's funny, I was rehashing my book, Iceberg Slim, the other day. The coldest part of the game that he said is, they're not gonna make the game be forced upon you. The coldest part of being a pimp and a hustler is to make the person ask for it, to make the person want to be in the system.
It's like, what's crazy is using the Jedi mind trick.
Yeah.
You just flipping it and like, no, I'm gonna make the bitch ask for it. I ain't gonna make the bitch do it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna force her to be a hoe. She's gonna want to come for me and willfully and beg to be. And I think they're creating these self-quarantine environments. They're creating this environment of pressure where so many Black people are dying for it. CNN had other day, The Color of COVID, with Van Jones and all these Black people on there talking about how Black people need to take care of themselves and Black people need to stay at home. So we already see them in the media even preparing us to understand that, oh, this is a Black people or this is a minority people type of disease.
Right. And the reason I guess the reason they're doing that, because like you said, I'm just backing up what you said, they say 70% that everyone that got it was the African American and minorities.
Right.
Correct.
Well, they were testing it out with the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
There you go.
They saw how well that worked, so they said, okay, well now let's hit them with the pandemic. If it worked with the chicken sandwich, then it'll work the same way.
Hey, I hate to be a conspiracy theory guy, and I'm the last one to talk like this. Savvy,
it was in the chicken?
It might have been in the chicken, because if you notice, it went from Popeyes to COVID-19, brother.
Yeah. Exactly. It was no in between.
Check the timeline.
Chicken sandwich, COVID-19. Chicken sandwich, COVID-19.
I'm just saying. No, it's funny that you brought that up, said when you were talking about lower income people. Betsy, you had mentioned something about how LA is coming up with something right now that the homeless people may be staying in the Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah.
Explain that.
Well, they need housing for homeless people right now. They're desperate. And I guess homeless people are staying in a bunch of Marriott hotels. Rancho Park opened up the gymnasium. And then they lined the entire Rancho Park with trailers. And if you are infected, you stay in a trailer, quarantined away from everyone. And they're asking the Ritz-Carlton downtown to take homeless people in. And I'm not sure if they did yet or not, but I know a lot of Marriott hotels have taken homeless people in, and they have said they're not going to just kick them back out on the street. They're going to try to figure something out.
Well, I guess, and I'm not trying to be mean or malicious at all when I say this, but it almost feels like if a high-end hotel was going to do something like that this would be the time where no one is staying at those places anyway right now.
Right.
I don't think that if you have such and such that's a star NBA player, or such as the Oscars are in town, they're going to have some homeless COVID patients in that hotel.
I don't think so, because I do think there's I'm not sure, but if at this Ritz-Carlton, but correct me if I'm wrong, aren't there penthouses that people buy on the top?
Yes.
And they're having a heart attack about it.
It's just the Trojan horse, man. They just trying to get Black people to buy into, I can go stay at the Ritz. They're gonna have what's next door to the Ritz? What is next door to the Ritz? The convention center.
The convention
They just
center.
setting you up. They just
I'm gonna tell you right now, though, Sam.
Get you down there.
I made a song about Ritz-Carlton. I always throw my ass at the Ritz-Carlton. You ain't gonna get shit. Not me. I ain't going to no motherfucking Ritz-Carlton. Not after this. You ain't gonna put.
I might be trying to go get a free room.
Oh hell no! Not the Ritz-Carlton. You ain't gonna shit. I ain't gonna be in no Ritz-Carlton. Not after this, boy. Not after this.
Are you Plies? Is that Plies?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that was so good. That was hilarious.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's gonna be just like
that is a nice ass hotel. Like if you got a quarantine somewhere, that's a nice place to.
Let me tell you something. The Ritz-Carlton, the soaps are $32.50, brother.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna be pretending homeless. I might tease my hair.
Right.
Some dirt on my face.
The thread count of the sheets at the Ritz-Carlton is on a whole nother level. Some people might not even know what a thread count is, but yeah, you go to the Ritz-Carlton, you're like, why did I get the best sleep I've gotten 10 years at this motherfucker? Did the pillows, was I being embraced? Wow.
That motherfucker stick ambience in the pillows.
But the Ritz-Carlton kind of fell off though, man. I just recently stayed at the Ritz, man. It's not really.
Which one?
For whatever reason, it's more Marriott and less Ritz. The one in Laguna.
Man.
Laguna Niguel.
Don't get me wrong.
And it was like Marriott up in that joint.
Don't get me wrong. The Marriotts have stepped their game up big time.
I love Marriott. I'm a Marriott guy.
They have but understand this. I like Marriotts too, but remember, Ritz-Carlton still falls under the boutique, more high-end hotel. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the category. Yeah.
Right. Whereas Marriotts are much more of a chain thing. It's like a Hyatt, but there's still nice rooms at the Hyatt. There's still nice rooms at the Marriott, but you got to start looking at the other amenities too. Like, okay, the Marriott Spa versus the Ritz-Carlton Spa. Their room service versus their room service. Their omelets versus their omelets. The way I do, I can take a goddamn Sheraton omelet and a Ritz-Carlton omelet. I can tell you the difference between the towels and the bathtub versus the bathtub and a W. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, I can break all that kind of shit down.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother show.
It's kind of. Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of weird, man. I just recently went to one during this whole Corona, and it's so different, man. Now you can't. There is no room service. There are no plates. There are no cups. I'm like, y'all don't have glasses up in this piece. They come bring you.
What hotel chain was that you were at?
I'm telling you, I was at the Ritz. I was at the Ritz.
How long ago?
This past weekend.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, because I didn't know that. I was gonna say, like, who the hell is still staying in hotels during this? Right. But of course, nigga, you didn't get a goddamn plate and no fork. You gotta eat with your hands right now.
Yeah.
And you probably stayed at the Ritz-Carlton for $3 a night.
Yeah. Nah, it wasn't. But
did you get a hand sanitizer?
Was the price?
It was packed. I'm telling you, it was packed. It was just kind of like a getaway for. It was packed. It was packed.
Are you serious?
They had no more rooms. It was fully packed.
How the hell was it packed and we're still in the pandemic?
I'm telling you, man, everybody, it's a different movement of people that have and the have-nots. It's a different movement. Everybody was out there with their kids. People weren't wearing masks. People were on the beach because they got a private beach. People on the beach. People out there playing soccer with their kids. Yeah, I'm telling you, I was literally this past weekend.
Okay, but is that smart?
Because you're hanging out with a bunch of Republican people who think coronavirus is, because apparently in Laguna, it's like all Orange County, Newport, Laguna. They're out protesting.
It was none of that. I'm telling you, these people were very liberal people. I stayed in my room. I'm just telling you what I seen off my balcony. I could see everybody like walking around. I can see everybody walking around. And they tell you when they locked in, look, we quarantine seriously. We understand that people are like quarantining. So they had people coming with their gloves, hazmat.
Okay, I got a question for you, Sid. My question is you. The thousands of times that I've stayed at a Ritz-Carlton, you said Ritz-Carlton, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Part of the reason you go to these places is because the room service is amazing. Is because the spa is great. Is because there's a golf course down the street. Is because it's just so. Please tell me you didn't spend and pay the same amount.
No,
where
it wasn't.
And you can't even get room service.
It wasn't. You could get room service, but yes, the quality was very much diminished. They had a barcode on a piece of paper. They didn't even have menus. Everything was like stripped down. So it was like a barcode on a sheet of paper.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. I'm not gonna spend that kind of money.
You put your phone up and your QR code pulls up the breakfast menu. You scan the other barcode and it pulls up the dinner menu.
But what was the difference? I don't understand how that's stripped down as opposed to having a menu.
Well, because normally you have the book with the leather-bound book and the paper in it, and it's just like you open it up and you can see what you want to order. I'm saying they went paperless on a lot of stuff, and a lot of less. The web bar was emptied out. The refrigerator was
See, all those things.
I'm gonna see. I haven't stayed in a hotel since all this happened, but I actually have to stay in a hotel on Friday.
Yeah.
So I want to see how different, how
you're about to find out. You're about to find out, Doc.
And the thing was, to answer Alex's question, the whole point was just really to get away, stop looking at the same wall you see every day.
I get it.
And then see the beach, open your door.
Was it BY? Was it BYOP?
It was definitely yes.
Do you know what BYOP is?
Yeah, I do. That's why I laughed.
We all figuring that out.
It's called Bring Your Own Pillows.
No. But I did bring my own sanitizer. I did bring my own pillows. I did bring my own blanket. And I did bring.
Said you might as well have went camping, motherfucker. You might as well have went camping.
Yeah. Well, it's like I brought my own liquor. You couldn't even buy liquor at the spot,
dude. You understand that you didn't have to go to the goddamn Rich Carlton. You could have went to it was like. You could have went to the Red Roof Inn down the street to do all that shit.
Alex, you know what it was like? It was like when we went glamping with you,
right?
At the
but when you say Rich Carlton. When you say the words Rich Carlton, the last thing you're thinking is bring a sleeping bag, motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah, but when you go glamping, you don't bring anything on a glam site. They set the tents up like a hotel.
And that's what we did.
Yeah.
You still bring your own, your own champagne, and you bring your own, charcuteries and stuff.
Hey, you guys, this is how I know times have changed. You know times have changed when DMX is doing Bible study on social media and getting millions of views. When DMX is teaching the Bible and getting more views than Joel Osteen, the world is about to change.
I think I sent the video to you. I thought I saw the video.
Raul, can you please do that video? I hope you got it, bro. Because see, this is one of those we could use this because this is off of his own IG. Okay. Because the Lord is my shepherd. That's why he's coming back. Dog.
There you go, man.
You believe in Jesus, my nigga?
A time for mourning, and a time for dancing. A time for throwing stones. A time for embracing, and a time for avoiding embraces. A time for a time for avoiding embraces. What? Come on.
What?
Come on.
Hold on, it didn't show Raul, but we heard it though.
Raul, you can't. Oh, is that it? There's no more.
Yeah,
it was just a.
Dude, I would watch 2 hours of him being an evangelist just because he's DMX, dude.
Oh yeah.
DMX started to preach,
and you're just waiting for him to start rapping as he
it just feel like he gonna bust out
at any second.
Hey, you back, but you found me because the face down.
Hey,
what's going on in your mind? I was talking that shit that you was talking. I bet you wish you never got killed and you be walking.
There was Keisha, Letitia, Betsy, Monisha, Colin, Rashawn, Don, and Bond.
Now there was Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Judas, Peter, Thomas, Jesus.
Hey, man, if DMX started preaching, I'd be like, yo, D, throw that beat on. Throw the beat on, son.
Throw on the beat.
He preaching, just throw the beat on. Like, he's gonna end up rhyming,
Gotta get him like Kanye West is doing the choir and he's doing the preaching.
Oh, that would be.
Hold on. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, please show us. Damn, I can't hear him.
You can't hear it?
No, you just see it. We can't hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the Bluetooth on. That's why.
He looks good for smoking so much crack.
I know.
Did he smoke crack?
Oh, my bad.
Right? Doesn't he?
Yeah, he just got through.
That was so funny, Betsy. Betsy, that was hilarious. He looks good for smoking so much crack. That is hilarious.
Wasn't crack, it was meth.
Was it?
Get it right, dog. Get it right, dog.
Yo, speaking of which, have y'all been watching those verses? For a minute, they were talking about the two dogs, where Snoop Dogg and DMX
that would
go
be
against
dope.
each other.
That'd be tight.
That would be awesome.
The two dogs
going rhymes now.
Yep.
What about Nate Dogg? Hey, let me ask y'all something.
That would be a miracle.
If he was alive.
I love Nate Dogg.
Yeah, but how is it? Somebody's going to have to do it for him, or he's going to come back.
Yeah.
I
mean, but if that's the case, they could do Marvin Gaye versus James Brown. It just wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
Like you got to be alive.
It'd have to be a hologram.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let me ask y'all something.
yeah.
I just want to ask you really quick. Do you remember that movie with Cuba Gooding Jr.? Like, I mean, this was so old when that disease broke out. What were they doing?
Outbreak.
Yes.
With the monkeys. I do remember that.
And they were like putting the people in the car. Like
that was a hell of a movie. I do remember that.
What the hell? Are we turning into that when we're talking?
Didn't they quarantine in that movie too?
Yeah, it was like they had to separate the people who had gotten whatever the disease was.
Because the monkeys had the virus, right?
Yeah, they got it from the monkeys.
I remember that.
And remember, Cuba was in love with that chick and they had to separate them.
I do remember.
Yeah, Netflix be instigating and doing that shit on purpose. They got that shit right. As soon as you sign on Netflix, they got Outbreak, right? The first fucking video
exactly.
You see. Scaring the shit out of you.
Hey, this is off the subject, on the subject, but I don't know, man. This is it. Somebody got to help me with this, the dynamics and the facts for this next story. Because all I saw kind of was a picture, but I need somebody to explain what is the deal with Georgia, the state of Georgia, suspending the KKK mask law because there was guys that were real Klan members and trying to so-called not be malicious, and they were wearing their mask. And the state of Georgia is like, look, you can wear a different type of mask to stop the corona, but you can't wear your goddamn KKK mask. Said, do you know the story?
Yeah, so here's the funny part. Here's the irony in life. So there was a bill passed back in 1951 that created a misdemeanor to where you could not wear a mask in public because people were doing that from intimidation for, I guess, obviously towards Black people. So they created into law where you could not formally in public wear a KKK mask or a uniform. Well, flip to 2020, we're in a system where now we have to wear masks. Well, guess what? The KKK petition to where, hey, I want to wear my mask. Who's to say I can't
what
wear
type
my
of mask?
mask?
They found out like a glitch in the Matrix.
Right.
It's a mask.
So Georgia released that, hey, we're going to suspend our 30-year law that basically state that you cannot wear a public KKK outfit in public. So now where you can wear. And so we saw last week on a story where the guy had his KKK hoodie.
He sure did. It looked like he was at a Walgreens or a CVS or something.
Yeah.
He was at a Vons. I think it was Doc who said, yo, that's California. Yeah, it was a Vons here.
Are you serious?
And when it was another dude that also had on a Nazi swastika mask.
His mask.
And they basically, like the police basically told him, like, listen, this is a public place, like it's a family store. You cannot wear it in here. But if you want to wear it outside, we can't do nothing to you, you know?
And he just put a swastika sticker on his mask.
A flat out swastika sticker on his mask. Yeah.
I'm all for it, man. I'm not even mad at it. I think in a one-dimensional mind state,
no matter what.
Wear the hoodies, wear the swastika.
Oh, so we know who you are.
We know who you are.
We need to segregate the world. That's it. People that do that need to be segregated in one town all by themselves, ship them food, take the electricity. Like, absolutely not.
Florida and Mississippi.
Well, it's funny. Right? It's funny you say that. You know, I think our communities would thrive even more when we did have segregation. So I'm not just for segregating people that I disagree with.
Oklahoma.
I'm all for segregation. I believe that all day long now. I think that we've been inbred to think that we can work within a system. I think nowadays, as we see more, we haven't even talked on the show about Ahmaud Arbery. You know, I think that as we see it now, man, how much do we have to keep begging people to accept us and accept us for who we are as human beings until we get to the point where, you know, I just want to be, just leave me alone. Let me be over here and do my thing. You go over there and do your thing. The problem is they need us to do their thing. So it's always going to be a problem because it's never going to be a position to where you go do your thing and we go do our thing. Because guess what? Their thing is going to fall apart without us.
Good. Well, let it fall apart on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's just, it's an unfortunate, but it's 2020. And if we have people that are acting like this, then I'm sorry. They need to be separated from the rest of the world.
They never went nowhere though, man. They just,
I don't even want to insult. I don't like to call people animals because I really don't want to insult animals. Do you hear what I'm saying? Because animals are naturally loving creatures. Like they do not, they're peaceful. They live amongst each other in peace. Yeah. You know, if a tiger attacks an animal to eat it, the animal has lived its life in peace. So if you cannot be a peaceful person and love the world, then I'm sorry, you need to go somewhere else. You should not. Right. It's just, I'm sorry. I'm probably going to be on ABC blasted for saying this, but I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No,
learn to get along.
Speak your mind.
I think that sounds good in theory. I just think that, you know, the reality of that is too scary for some people. If we took that in a very literal sense, even with what I'm saying, we're so much integrated into the society that it isn't a realistic concept to really have. But just think about the fact that if all Black people did not integrate into the society and we had our own society in this civilization apart from the general masses, everything will fall apart. If you talk about us not being in the NBA, us not being in the NFL, us not working their jobs and we working our own jobs, literally, if we did not integrate in this society and left everyone else to work the society and we develop our own civilization within the society, I think that would not be a plausible thing for the other side, but it would be great for us. But they would not never allow that.
But see, the thing about it said it's happened before. Nobody wants to talk about it, but it happened in Oklahoma already. We've had that, and it was destroyed, and people were massacred, and it was ripped to pieces. So I believe if we were to create some sort of utopia and unify like that, segregated, we would be attacked again, whether it be biological or maliciously.
Correct. That's a very true statement. And I think that's what the harder part of the reality is. And not even that, the fact that it's always in our nature to try to integrate with other people. When you talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma, you know what really sparked off Tulsa, Oklahoma? The fact that we created Black banks and we started lending to other nationalities outside of the Black community.
Right.
It's sad to say, it wasn't about us even creating a utopia amongst Black people. We started getting, you know, arrogant and cocky enough to think that we can actually lend money and sell land to actually white farmers. And white farmers were saying, hold up, I can go buy this land and get a better interest rate through this Black bank than I can through a white bank. Right. Oh, you mean I could go buy seeds and farm and property? So we started exchanging goods and services with other nationalities of people outside our community. And that's what created the red flag of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
That's some good stuff, man. And that's what I love here on the Funny Don't Stop show. Yes, we find the funny in everything, but sometimes it gets deep like that and it gets very educational. And I appreciate you for that, Sid. Did you guys see, this is showing me how people are getting super creative during this pandemic. There was this Catholic priest and he was actually doing drive-by baptisms with a water gun. He's baptizing people with a water gun, like shooting holy water. Dude, it was the craziest thing. How you gonna shoot?
Oh man,
that's where we at. That's where we at today.
That's where we at, man.
That's where we at now. That's where we at now, where Catholic priests are shooting plastic 9mm filled with holy water.
First drive-by strippers.
Yeah.
Drive-by strippers. Now
drive-by baptisms.
Baptisms, yeah.
Well, I guess he's definitely social. He's definitely social distancing.
Yeah, you ain't lying about that.
He's like, I know the Lord personally, but I'm not going to get within 6 feet of your infested ass.
In the name of the Father.
We gotta pull up the one where the Catholic priest is dunking the little babies in the water. We gotta.
That's crazy! I saw that.
Wait, what'd you say, Sam?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was absolutely ridiculous.
I didn't hear you say it. Say it again.
We got to get the video of the one where the Catholic priest is doing his baptism, where he's dunking these kids in the water like he's washing pots or something in his backyard, like literally grabbing the babies and like throwing them to the side. And then the funny part is you see the kids in the background.
Literally give the kid whiplash. I mean, he's dunking
the baby like,
wow. Is that legal, guys?
I guess in the Catholic Church.
Well, I guess if you could shoot somebody in the forehead with a holy water pistol, I guess anything's possible.
Pretty sure I got.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Raul, I'm not trying to sound stereotypical, but did you grow up Catholic, Raul?
Yeah, I got dunked.
Okay.
But you never got a water pistol to your forehead, right? With holy water.
I got dunked one time. I got sick when I was like maybe 1.5 years old. I got a bad case of the chicken pox, and I was in Mexico at the time, and they didn't know what to do with me, so they took me to this fountain that was the holy water fountain, and they just dunked me in the whole entire time, soaked me. I'm talking about clothes and all though.
Damn, clothes on and everything.
They're like, motherfucker, just take his ass.
And what happened after that?
Did you get healed?
I mean, I guess so, because I don't have it no more. I didn't have
it. You ain't even got no scar indicating that you ever had.
Right.
They must have had holy water and calamine lotion in that motherfucker, man.
Calamine lotion.
I don't have it no more. I would hope that was 40 years ago, Raul. I would hope.
Right. Hey, did you guys hear that Qatar Airways is offering 100,000 free trips to doctors, nurses, and essential workers anywhere Qatar flies, and that's usually overseas. But I thought that was really dope that they offered 100,000 flights. I think you get 2 or 3 flights wherever you want to go to the essential workers.
Wow, that's a good thing
awesome.
right there.
That's not bad.
That's well deserved though, man. These people are risking their lives, man, for everybody.
Absolutely.
Man.
Yeah. And I'm just wondering, are they doing that here in America? Is Southwest handing out anything?
JetBlue.
Like, can a doctor get a flight from Long Beach to Oakland for free? You know what I mean?
Long Beach to Oakland. On Spirit, yeah.
On Spirit or Frontier.
Yeah, there you go.
Boy.
Meanwhile, we got Jordan coming out with the new Jordan COVIDs and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. The COVID-19s. Hey, what's the story? Betsy, I don't know if you know this story. I heard about it, actually. We were supposed to talk about it a week ago, but I really didn't get the details. Kim Kardashian wrote a guide to isolating her kids during this pandemic.
Did she write a guide, or was it the post she did?
I don't know. Tell me, like, maybe
I
you
saw
know more.
a post on TikTok with her talking about staying at home. The kid was in it. I don't know if that one was it. What? Seb?
Yeah,
was that it?
I read that too. You know, Kim Kardashian, we've had a lot of heated debates on this show about Kim Kardashian, you know, and it's really emblematic of society itself. You know, she can't do no good or no harm in society today.
Right.
I think she meant well by trying to say, hey, Mom, and I'm at home struggling with all these kids, and here's some things that I'm doing. And what happened was somebody immediately posted like, she was saying, I prep for this, I prep for that, I prep for that. And then somebody posted right away saying, but hey, you're not prepping on how to feed those kids. You're not prepping on how to survive. Everybody else is out here surviving. How dare you tell me 20 things to do to deal with your health, deal with your family.
Right.
So
you know, people are going to pick her. People are going to pick her apart. You know, when you get that huge, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I think, wasn't it something like she sold this new $100 million refrigerator that they got in the house and there wasn't no baby food in it or something?
Well, in the video she did on TikTok, she got her kid on and talked about social distancing at home. And then the kid told her, well, Mom, you need to get off your phone and like pay attention to us, basically something like that. And she was like, well, I do.
That is hilarious. Hey, you guys, I just want to say again, all good things may come to an end. But every single week we're on at the Funny Don't Stop show, it's always, I get so enthralled in our conversation and things we're talking about. I don't realize how time flies. We actually went a little bit overtime today, but it was such a great show. And I really, really appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. Said, let everybody know where they can find us on all the different platforms and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. You can check us out on all platforms, social media platforms, obviously Facebook and YouTube. You can check us out also on Spotify. You can check us out on iHeartRadio. You can check us out pretty much on the podcast app within Apple services as well. So that's where you can check us out and like us, subscribe us, and get the alerts on YouTube and help this grow, because we're only as big as the audience that actually listen to us.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Dash Radio also. That's our home once we get out of this pandemic, which I'm hearing Governor Gavin Newsom, I know this is not a part of the show right now, but we got to end it right now. But I heard things are slowly opening back up. I heard the malls are opening up June 1st and restaurants are going to be opening up on June 1st. And they're going to be eating with plastic forks and knives. But I mean, it's better than nothing, right?
Better than nothing, man. It is.
So we'll see what's going to happen. Everybody let them know where they can find you at. Betsy, let them know where they can find you at.
At Bling and Betsy Comedy on IG and TikTok.
There we go, Doc.
DOC221ENT.
Raul.
DABIGGUZ.
Sid Brass.
Check me out at Sid with an SEDBRASS.
Savvy.
Instagram and Facebook, same name, Savvy Amusing.
That's what I'm talking about. And my name is Alex Thomas. So you can check me out at Funny Man Alex Thomas. We're going to be here every single Tuesday. Please spread the word. We appreciate you guys could have been anywhere else, but we appreciate the people that sat down and hung out with us today. All right. So that's it today from the Funny Don't Stop Show. Peace, y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon.
One love, yo.
The funny don't stop show. The funny don't stop. Hey, funny don't stop show. The funny don't.